history of bullet chats.
All right, welcome to the Bullet Chat Podcast with your hosts Sadie and Odie, two Bullet originals, and Portly, the Bullet's unofficial mascot. The Bullet Scramble started in 1988. 12 guys, a keg of beer, a campground, and the brilliant idea to throw in some golf. It was a lost weekend that somehow became a lifestyle. Almost 4 decades later, we're still going strong, and for a lot of us, it's the reason we play golf, an excuse to stay in touch, and the one weekend we never miss.
I'm in! Yeah!
Every year, 60 guys show up, and they all want one thing, to not be the guy who folds. The Calcutta money's become pretty nice, too.
Crumbled under the pressure.
Totally! So that's the Bullet. There's pressure, there's history, but the stories are the star of the show. Whether they're true or just told well enough to survive, that's the Bullet Chat Podcast.
We gotta do Portly.
We gotta get this shit started. Calcutta!
Well, welcome back, Sadie. We're in episode 4. Once again, we're trying to figure out where Portly is. So he did log in here. Yeah, he logged in for a second, and then he said something about moving to an iPhone, but that was 10 minutes ago. So
I'm wondering how well this works if 75% of the episodes are titled Where the Fuck is Portly?
yeah, it's going to be an odd series. I mean, it could be a Netflix miniseries or limited series at some point. And we still have follow-up questions from our last episode when he just dropped off.
That's right. It is every episode at this point. And I mean, the good news is we eventually find them, but
yeah, he'll definitely need to join us for the episode when we feature on people who've been lost at the Bullet, because he's in a class of his own right now. Hey, well, before, and maybe if he joins us before he does, we got a special guest today. I'm not going to tell you who yet, but my first question is there anything interesting happen in your world this week?
oh man, yeah, I had a good run to Chipotle the other day.
Chipotle. I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah,
what happened?
Well, all right. So I had a lot going on. I was kind of in a hurry, and I was trying to be a little healthy, right? So I go to Chipotle, and you got to understand this. I got to pee walking in the door, but I'm gambling on a burrito right now. Yeah, so I go back to the restrooms, and both of them are locked. And I wait there for a few minutes. No one's coming out, and so I don't know what people do in the restroom at Chipotle, but I was like, all right, I'm going back into line. And so in my delay going to the restroom, I get in line behind grandma and this little girl, 10, 12 years old, that's dressed as a furry. I mean, she's got a masquerade mask on, wearing a tail, fishnet stockings.
That's a furry. Those are young kids who identify as furries.
Is that their pronoun?
I'm not sure.
So anyway, now I'm kind of in a hurry, and the child proceeds to press her face against the glass, and every ingredient asks the question, what is that? What is that? And that poor guy, he was like, es carne, es pollo, es frijoles negro. And he goes on, and so she ends up after all this, and it literally took 5 minutes. I mean, my stuff flew past her, and now it's just sitting there getting cold, and I still can't leave. She ends up with the little kid box, and that has the 4 compartments in it, and she's literally has some beef, some white rice, and some black beans. And then she asked the girl that didn't speak any English at all, is it spicy? And so then that took 3 team members to figure that out and confirm for her that it was spicy. So then I watched the whole thing go in the trash, and she started over again.
And meanwhile, you had to pee the whole time.
I had to pee. It wasn't as bad as having to pee putt.
Yeah.
I mean, putt when you're upright, it's okay. But if you gotta get in a putting stance and your enlarged prostate doesn't keep everything in place anymore, that's pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, especially when you're playing the Bullet, and let's say you're the 3-man. So the 1 and the 2-man already roll their putts in the scramble. You've seen it. But if you got to pee, that's utterly distracting.
It's very distracting. You're not going to watch that line, and then Oh, hold on a second. What do we have here?
What do we have? Yeah, where is Portly's the question. He sent some text about trying to switch to an iPhone, so we decided just to move on without him. And Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome our special guest, one of the legends of the Bullet, original founders, and has played in every Bullet except for one. He's got 7 titles, and he's best known for ordering scallops, winning bullets, and bringing some campfire laughter. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Jim Ward.
Thanks, everybody. Good to see you. Oh, nice. Look at you guys.
Hey, you know what?
Haptics.
You are the beneficiary of our first sound effect ever.
Nice.
In Bullet podcast history. So, congratulations.
Yeah, first sound effect ever.
That's nice.
So, Jimmy, where are you right now?
I'm at work. I'm working in an obscure, super minuscule conference room called Lookout Creek. They name things after famous Oregon landmarks here, apparently, and everybody knows where Lookout Creek is, right? Not. I had to look it up. It's in the Willamette National Forest, apparently. Yeah, it goes from like Crater Lake,
interesting,
Painted Hills down
Which
to
part of it?
I don't even know. I didn't get that far. I'm just like, what? Nobody's heard of this. I don't know who our naming convention people are, but they probably are not from Oregon. Anyway, here I am, hiding.
You must have a lot of conference rooms, though, if you
we do.
That obscure.
Way too many.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Well, the purpose of this podcast is to sort of bring to life the stories of the Bullet, some of the crazy clowns and members and characters who participated, and really, continue to promote unbelievable golf tournaments that, maybe you never heard of. So let me ask you a couple of questions. What's the Bullet mean to you?
It's the highlight of the summer. It's a can't miss event, like you guys were talking about last couple of podcasts. It's something you just plan around. You got to be ready in every way. Yeah.
Well, that's
If you had to choose one, do you choose your birthday or the Bullet?
Oh, the Bullet. Fuck. Who likes getting older now?
What about Christmas or the Bullet?
The Bullet. I don't get much anyway for Christmas anymore.
That's sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
None of us do.
Yeah. So your early role, you sat on the executive committee. You helped shape this Bullet.
Well, yeah.
You made decisions and.
After Alderbrook,
you were
right?
an influencer before influencer. Yeah. So what was your role or kind of memories of those early years? Like
so
shaping the Bullet, how did you shape it?
After Alderbrook, we all became part of the committee, right? We would meet and decide where the fuck we want to go. And then everybody had their roles. Like Odie, you were making gear. Sadie was riding the Insider. Porter planning the Pug at some point. And my role was to set up the course, make sure we got the kegs, and forward the info to Sadie to put in the Insider that we would mail to everybody. So that's kind of how it started.
Yeah,
and of course,
for girls. Money. Yeah, well, we got for like wives, girlfriends, others who might be watching this. The Insider was like our early school newsletter that we circulated and just kind of talked trash before the Bullet. But yeah, speaking of collecting money, there was a year that I think you were in charge of collecting money that might have gone sideways. What happened?
I think it did, yeah. It was the first year I was living with Lawrence, and I don't think the jar method is a good way to keep track of the money. The following year, a bank account, a checking account at my savings union went into effect because come late in the summer, I had all this money and you're cashing people's checks, checking off names, and we're going out the door partying every other night still. And I came up a little short come time to head out, and I was working at Nike, so little pay at the time, and had to hit up Gamby to fund not much, $400-$500 or something like that till I could get it back to him. So.
Well, that was a lot back in those days.
It was funny, yeah. Did you see some of the?
I was just going to ask. You were finishing your thought.
Well, did you see how cheap somebody brought something up about how it cost us so little back in those years? It was like $80 for the Bullet and gets you kegs and rounds and carts. You're just like, now, shit. So it was a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, look, golf has skyrocketed in popularity and cost, but hey, how would you compare the Bullet to other golf trips or buddy golf trips?
Wow, yeah, just some other tournaments. Other tournaments can be fun, but it's nothing. It's just, you don't just look forward to it. It's, you're not worried about, getting a KP. You just want to win and compete and be there at the end, so it's so much better. You can't compare it, at least I can't.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that part for a minute. I mean, what do you think makes it unique? I think one of the things you just said is one of those that it's worth winning.
Yeah, and just looking forward to hanging with everybody because we don't get to do that like we did. And just the laughter has always been just so epic, no matter where, on the course, pre-round, at the restaurant, at the campsite, or after at night. Good times.
Yeah. I think you've won 7 bullets. Is that right? And are
Yeah.
you've won the most?
Doug Johansson and myself have won the most. Now, Lar would be a good guest at some point to go through his modern bullet versus, the early years that don't count type of thing. So he's always throwing that out, like, oh, that was before it was really the bullet. So I think I have more like 3 in the modern.
Well, how many modern bullet victories do you have?
I would say 3, but it's been this will be 16-year drought. Tim and myself, Team Tim and I won 2 years in a row, in 2008 and 2009, and that's been it. And I had a Carmichael before that. A lot of playoff losses. Those were my modern victories. Then you got to go back to year 2 and 3, and one other.
Yeah,
I have no modern victories, Jimmy. I mean, and that hurts, but
yeah.
Yeah,
I think it takes it took a Tim or a Chris for me to taste the glory, but it's been 30 years, I think.
Yeah, it's
30 years since you won a bullet.
I should not complain.
Oh yeah. Wow. I played myself into just that sweet spot where I was good enough to get picked to a shitty team for like 30 fucking years straight. So, I mean, I'm bitter, but it happens.
Well, I hope we can change that. I picked you this year for our
Yeah,
team.
you did.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Oh my God. Did we get that? I wasn't talking about you though.
Yeah, okay, I wasn't talking about. I hope not. So, Ward, you and I won. Okay, for those of you listening, for those of you listening, the Silver Bullet's been going on. This is our 38th year. A lot of people say the first 25 years was kind of old school bullet where we camped and then played golf. Ever since then, everyone decided let's not sleep in the dirt. So that's more the modern bullet. But way back when, like bullet 4 or 5, you and I won a bullet at Alderbrook.
Yeah. And I love the last podcast sort of referenced your Odie is fantastic through like 14, 15 holes. And then would go up. And that's the one he threw his 5-iron like so deep into the woods. And you can tell him that story, but we won it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You had another story?
Honestly, you had.
It's not the same story. You had a wedge in the first year and now a 5-iron in year 3 or 4 or whatever.
Your years are mixed up. There was only one event. That was one event. Yeah.
I like my version better, where it's multiple, like serial club throwing that almost needs to be having intervention.
Really not a club thrower. But I do remember that particular bullet because there's this uphill par 3, maybe only 125 to 30 yards. And we all came up short on the front fringe, which was ridiculous in a scramble. But Ward chipped it in. And
before real quick, before that, that's like, oh my God, you made it! Oh, and they start yelling above us, like we hold and won it. So Dougie and I are sprinting up the green, and I think you and Brig were probably carting it, and we get up there. There's no fucking ball in the hole. We were so pissed, and so go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, it had a false front with like an extra little carry that you couldn't see from the tee box, and we'd never played the course before, and so we ended up in that little false front area. Yep. And then Ward chipped it in and kind of led us to victory. It was amazing.
Well, we had we shaded in an eagle putt. We had a group hug because the ball kept moving, and we just went around, put some shade on it, and it dropped for eagle.
Yeah.
Quality course like those cups that Alderbrook. That was probably the worst bullet course ever.
Hold that thought for a future episode. We're collecting questionable moments in bullet history, and I think shading a ball for 7 minutes is one of those.
Yeah, no, it wasn't 7 minutes. It was like 17 seconds.
Yeah, it was moving. But
So
it
Ward
wasn't out of bounds either.
Yeah. So Ward, the big question for this particular episode is, what does it take to win a bullet? Like, obviously there's the draft, and for those of you who don't know, every year the winning team stays together, and then everybody else goes back into the draft. The top 10 or so players are the captains, and then we snake draft it. And so the teams are mixing up every year. But obviously the draft's an important part to winning a bullet. what else? I mean, you've been a back-to-back winner before.
Yeah, twice. Thanks to Tim. See, we can all say that. I think today more than ever, now that everybody has to contribute because, you don't have the guys who are so much better like Tim and Chris, and then have somebody that's maybe not so good at the end, right? That may not contribute normally because Tim and Chris are so good or whoever. But nowadays, everybody's playing, so everybody has to, I think, contribute to win. If somebody's having a bad weekend or a day, you're kind of in trouble.
Well, that's true because
how important is the captain? I mean, the captains, I think to your point, are all fairly similar in skill sets now. I mean, maybe there's a couple that separate themselves a bit, but how important is that position?
I mean, there are decisions to be made, even if they're casual sometimes. But, it's all sorts of types. You get Steve Ball, who doesn't maybe, way to go. Good job, Jimmy. That was a good one. He's just like, okay, hey, you stayed behind that one. Nice. Or something, it's like, so it's just different captains. I think you can win with any.
What? I've got a good Steve Ball story as captain at Crooked River. And help me remember the golf course though. Is it like 17 or 18, kind of a chute coming out of the green, maybe?
Yeah, 17, 18
yeah, right.
Narrows out a little bit at the end area, I think.
Okay, so I'm in that classic, we need a drive from Sadie position. I think my drive, it probably went 50 yards in the air and 30 yards forward and then landed like on the side of the hill and appeased my captain. And I thought, oh shit, I'm about to get the wrath here. But all I got was, okay, we're all right. I think we made a great play. We got one in play and I think we made par.
I was going to say one of the big roles of a captain is picking whose drive you use. When you have to use 4 drives per person in 18 holes, you don't want to leave anybody standing on 18, and you always end up leaving somebody standing on 17.
A topic for the podcast is last man standing stories. Would be fantastic.
Sometimes you have to though, right? Like if you're chasing and you got 3 guys that are going pretty good, you got to ride that wave, right? I mean,
right.
You're talking Sunday and you're trying to get back in it, and you're telling your boy who's struggling a little bit, it's like, look, you got about an hour to get your mind right, and then it's going to get serious here.
Well, it's true.
And a lot of times they just don't.
Yeah, it's true. You got to ride the wave, and you got to chase birdies in this event. I mean, when 90% of the players are single-digit handicaps, and a winning score for 2 days is around minus 30, you got to chase. You got to have the foot on the pedal. And then one guy, if he's your anchor, he's left alone on the 18th. It's gone sideways for a few and clutch for others.
For a while, yeah. And I mean, how many times have you seen this where, a guy finally gets a drive in the fairway, but everyone else is like 75 to 100 yards past him, and he's begging, take this one, take it.
Yeah, I love it when there's a better player than me begging and I still have my drives. I'm just like, oh, you're begging, dude? Come on.
Hey, man, the pressure gets to everybody.
Hey, Ward, I was looking over like the list of past winners, and I was thinking about some of the championship teams. And a question dawned on me: who was the worst team to ever win a Bullet?
Ooh.
I got 2 proposals for you. One is Krieger, DP, Jay Myhoff, and Thrasher.
My God.
And the other one's Krieger, Lambie, Hudd, and Cooper.
Well, that Krieger is just a psycho good sometimes, right? He just, he was fucking.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who don't know Krieger,
I mean, he must be able to play. I mean, he was dragging around a lot of bullshit right there.
That is a lot.
Well, it's pretty. Back in the years he won it, he was carrying the full load. But for those of you who don't know Krieger, even some of the modern day Bullets never played with Krieger. He's your prototypical golf course, run the lawnmower, take care of the greenskeeper. And he comes out and he plays the Bullet in bare feet and, takes these very below average teams and seems to somehow win the Bullet. And
well, his pedigree, I mean, his resume has a little more on it than being superintendent, though, too. I mean,
true. Right. Didn't he play college golf? And
yeah, he was at Oregon. He might not be as consistent. Yeah, he's not as consistent as maybe Tim or Chris, but dude, when he gets on fire, oh my God! I was in the group where he shot the course record at OGA after it first opened. Shot 66.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
with Casey.
I mean, that's just how. Yeah, we got to get him back in the bowl.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
I,
hey, who, like Ward, when you think of the early teams, which one would be just a ridiculous team today?
like bad.
No, like ridiculously
No good.
good.
Wow. I mean, it's really only I can really only remember the first few years of those teams, and it was not any of my teams because I didn't play with Tim or Chris
Yeah.
for decades. So
I think,
What was the one Portly named the other day? It was him, Tim. Was it like Hughes? And do you remember that team?
yeah,
Yeah.
it
Won.
was
Yeah,
Tim, Lar,
Lar.
Hughes, and Portley.
Oh,
it was
I
pretty
think
good.
that one's solid.
They had their own
Or the
shirts.
crazy thing about that is Tim couldn't play the next year for whatever reason. They brought in Croskery as a
Crosby, yeah.
substitute captain, and they
Rob
Still-
Croskery.
repeated
Croskery.
they repeated as winners.
They did. Yeah, that's the year
I
they had
think-
What
strange
happened to
shirts.
that guy?
I
Nobody
Crosby.
knows.
I saw him not that long. I mean, a handful of years ago. Seemed all right.
Yeah.
Like not off. Not
I think
off.
that first year bullet of Holzgang, Seagar, Kagar, and Sadie, they
Yeah.
would be pretty ridiculous these
Yeah.
days. What's probably
You
the
know
most
what though? That team would have serious drive issues, and I put that squarely on the captain. That goes back to my earlier question. I think Casey with that team would just be pedal to the metal, and there would be 4 guys needing 2 drives with 6 holes to go, and it'd be a disaster.
It's like
Well, actually, Ward, I got a question for you. What do you think is more important in the 2-day scramble? Putting, drives, team chemistry, or the captain strategy?
well, I think team chemistry is up there because if you're off early, then you're
Yeah.
behind. Especially because there's a lot of new people that haven't played together all these years. I think approaches are right there. Everybody, if you can get an approach that one person should make, that's huge. I don't know. A lot of people, don't you hate when you
At
miss?
the end-
Everybody misses a 10-footer. You're just like, fuck. It's
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Last year we were playing Juniper and we were making a run at the Win. And I don't know, we were like the 14th hole. It was kind of a drivable par 4. Do you remember that one? And anyway, I hit a good drive. We got it to like 7 feet for eagle. It just rolled up perfectly. And then we all missed it. And it felt like a bogey. It was horrible.
Oh, that's a gut punch. So you remember Whitefish? Remember the par 3? It was like the 3rd hole, right?
Oh, yeah.
Par 3, and that green was 45 degrees from back to front. So this is, we won't talk about it now, but this is a putt that set up one of the greatest moments of the bullet for me ever, where we end up above the hole 5 feet maybe, and I think we might have made bogey from there.
that's what captainship.
That's when
comes
after 3 holes of the bullet, I was riding around with Tosh, and he gets back in, and at the top of his lungs says, "God damn it, we just lost the fucking bullet." And I'm like, dude, we're 3 holes in, but it was going sideways at that point.
You can't make bogey. I mean, that's like falling 2 strokes behind. Hey, what do you think's been the most clutch moment that you've witnessed at a bullet?
Go back to Sandpines, and it was a playoff. And Team Tim with that Cooper driver situation, and Team Berger.
Yeah.
I was holding the stick. Tim makes this incredible long putt for birdie on, let's say, the first playoff hole. And then both teams have just ocean go it. And then Berger fucking dunks the next one for his team. Last man standing, too.
He was last man standing, and it was another 25, 30-foot putt. And for those of you who don't know, like when we go do a playoff in this thing, all the other players are in carts following the playoff, kind of like a horse race sort of scenario. That was a big one. I would also argue that Gearhart, just a couple of years ago, it went to a playoff hole. Bill Myhoff, I think, hit the biggest shot I've ever seen. He holed out from about 130 yards.
Yeah, 4-iron from 130. It was a great shot.
he pulls 4-iron. He pulls 4-iron a lot.
It did hit the front of the green and rolled all the way to the back and then dunked for an eagle to win the bullet. It was unbelievable.
People were just settling in for a nice long playoff. It's over.
I didn't see that when I was back sitting on the deck at McMenamins, but I heard it, and that was cool. It was probably cooler to hear it than to see it.
It was unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, just so psyched for a nice, let's drink our beers and watch this great playoff that's about to happen, and over.
Yeah, it was just over. Hey, we got a question that just came in from a a listener. And by the way, we need a nickname for our listeners. I think we could call them the Chads or something. But
So we got to work on that.
yeah, we got to come up with something. But it was kind of a
We'll
dumb
take
question.
suggestions.
It's a dumb
You know
question.
what? We'll put your email address up here, and they can send all their suggestions to you.
Yeah, it's kind of a dumb question. It just was, how many bulleteers do you think Sadie could name?
Oh, current
Like-
or like ever?
Like ever. Like there's, let's say, 150 or so that have played in this thing. I mean, what's your over-under? What do you think you could name? How many?
Maybe.
75?
I don't know if I can name half right now.
Right. I think you do a
mean,
great
with
job of
your-
those who played and are no longer playing, but like me, you could struggle with the
Yeah. I mean, back from the early days, like I can name the first 12. I can go 100% there. And then even by, like I heard the other day, Whitey joined year 2? I didn't know that.
Year 2, maybe 3, year 2 or
maybe
3.
maybe 3.
I didn't know that. I mean, the current field, I mean, with your reserve buddy fest that the Bullets become.
I like
the only
the-
one, I'll tell you what, the only one you guys play with all the time that I can name is Teague. Because every goddamn year he comes up, he's like, Mike Sadie, Teague, how are you? And
Yeah,
he's enthusiastic and he will introduce himself and he will make sure he's known. Everyone else just looks at me like, who are you? And I walk around like, look, bro, I'm Bullet royalty. What the fuck? And they're like, yeah, whatever. So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's all right, though. We coexist.
Well,
Sure.
and that might be something we do this year. We'll just make introductions because you got to get out. Get out and meet some people.
I need to. Maybe I should be more outgoing too. I don't know. I mean, it could be on me. I'm not blaming
Don't start
anybody
now.
for this.
Don't start now.
Don't start now. Hey, Ward.
Thank you for letting me off the hook, Jimmy. I appreciate that.
Hey, Ward, when you're getting ready for a bullet, I mean, I know
Oh,
getting
good.
in the mindset of winning a bullet starts weeks in advance,
Oh,
not
yeah.
a year in advance. But what's most important to bring? Like, what's at the top of your packing list?
Well, my favorite thing to bring is to go to John's Market and sit there for an hour and figure out all the beers I'm going to bring. That is my favorite thing to do. I mean, you could stay there. It's like shopping. It's like shopping at Macy's for chicks. It's fantastic.
Do you?
Well, hey, no, I got to follow up to that. What's the one thing you've ever forgotten that you were like, oh God, that was the biggest mistake ever?
Ooh.
I got one.
Go for it. I got a good story, but I didn't forget it.
I forgot my sleeping bag one time,
Oh.
and that
when
was
we were-
uncomfortable.
Well, when that happened, I remember because following years, I used to bring an extra tent. I used to bring an extra sleeping bag,
Just in case.
like because
yeah.
there was always somebody like you who forgot something.
For sure. People forgot.
Hey, but back to John's
But how
Market.
excited are you to get to the Bullet if you're just forgetting where you're gonna fucking sleep that night? I mean, that's
It is
you're
totally
like whatever.
overexcitement.
I'm surprised I had my clubs.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and for those, I had to go back and clarify. For those of you who don't know, John's Market is literally this huge store with all these craft beers and so forth. So I could see you easily spending an hour in there picking and choosing. I mean, it's an adult playground. Hey, you know what? You know who forgot something? It's the same guy who forgets to get on this podcast. But a couple of years ago, Portley showed up to a Bullet and forgot his putter.
That's right.
Like,
I can see that happening.
He's a foreman. He pulled it out to do some practice putting the night before, left it in the trunk of some other car, got a ride to the Bullet, and forgot his
Bullet
putter.
Pro.
Yeah, he had to go to the pro shop to borrow something for the weekend.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen.
We're within a month of the Bullet right now. Have you started your Bullet prep already?
A
Like
little bit.
visualizations,
Just-
maybe
just-
positive self-talk in the mirror.
The
on a
stuff
break?
I'm bringing. I'm bringing a comfort cot because I don't have a bed. I gotta, So I looked to make sure I could access it, so I know where it's at. Because I don't go do my own stuff. I don't camp anymore or anything like that. So I gotta find my stuff. So I've done that.
Wait, are you sleeping outside or are you in a house?
I might sleep
Sorry,
outside. I might sleep outside. It's a great option. When you have a cot, you can just go wherever you want.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
half cot.
Hey,
half
look
cot.
at my lighting right now. I can't tell if I'm entering the pearly gates or I just got shitty sun coming in on me. I got
There's an orb.
We're still working out our podcast details. One of them's lighting. Hey, Hart, get this fun fact that another listener sent in to me. You ready for this? The first Bullet where we have 5 different decades represented. We have guys in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. We got like 1, maybe 2 guys in their 60s.
That's crazy.
Imholt.
You got to help me out with that. Who's ever been in their sick? Well,
Imholt's
no.
ain't playing.
No, that's. Oh my God, I'm almost 60. What am I saying? This happened just a minute ago. God damn it.
Yeah, but 5 decades, and we got the first ever second generation player where a Bulleteer is bringing their kid.
I'm loving the youth
That's
movement.
fantastic.
He's on my team, and I'm keyed about that. Otherwise, I might bitch, but I'm keyed.
Yeah, Jackson.
Who is it? I can only. You know what?
Jackson Lee,
I
Mike
think I was
Lee's
being
son.
a
One of
little
Mike Lee's
cocky
sons.
when I said I could name half the Bullet field right now.
Yeah, your team. Your team this year is Mike Lee, Jackson Lee, yourself, and then who else?
Maddox.
Maddox. Yeah.
Maddox.
Wait, who's going to be cart partners in that group?
Oh, Maddox. Wade introduced us to him the other day.
Yeah.
He's
and everything. That was a fantastic rant, by the way.
all-state
Lee's great
athlete
guy.
out of Yuma Tiller or somewhere. But who's going to be
Right.
Who's going to be cart partners in your group?
Doesn't matter. Whatever the captain wants, I'll just drink beers with whoever. It's a Coors Light Fest in that group. That's going to be great.
All right. Who are you most excited to see this year that you haven't seen in a while?
Let's see here. That's a great question. Is anybody coming back? Damn, that's a fantastic question. I can't think. Do we got
It's a
anybody?
short field this year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody.
It's a little short. I mean, we've got people who've got kids going off to college. We've got a couple weddings that are getting in the way this year, and so yeah, a little shorter than normal. But we've had those fluctuations before.
I'm going with Shep because I just heard that he doesn't have to have surgery on his arm, so he's gonna play.
Yeah.
There's that.
Oh, he's playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Sadie? Who are you most excited to see?
Who am I? Everybody, man. I
You
mean,
don't
seriously, I don't know half of them, but it's still fun because I'll tell you what. That is one of the things that has become fun about it because I don't know everybody. So you just find yourself standing next to a random guy at the 18th green, just talking about things, and you might not even know each other's names. So it's good. I mean,
Oh, by the way,
I think that's an important thing about the Bullet too, is that it is just easy to slide into, right? I mean, there's you're not going to go there and feel. I'll fact that if you're brand new to the Bullet, you're not going to feel out of place from the first minute.
Well, Ward, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was one of our biggest EC decisions back in the day. Like we'd only invite 1 or 2 new people a year.
Yeah.
And we rotated who could invite somebody, but one of the rules was
did.
whoever you were inviting needed to know 30% of the field prior to stepping in, so nobody was babysitting.
Right. There was a big preference on Beaverton guys for a while, and then some of our college friends maybe, but that people knew that moved, like Porter and Towhead, and just people that moved to Portland.
Yeah.
Bobby G. So
Bobby G. Babbitt.
Yeah. Well, it's always fun to see Lambie. Like he'll bring you a shot of it. He'll bring you a shot of energy. All right. Hey, it's been about 35 minutes. That's about as long as we roll here.
I like it. No. What did I order? No shrimp or what the fuck I ordered at.
Scallops.
I don't have to tell
Wait, before we go though, I'm not sure. There's one thing we didn't talk about that I'm not sure the Bullet became what it did without Jim, because we were talking the other day or a couple times ago about how the Bullet came together, and a bunch of us were at our apartment. Casey started making the teams and we needed another team, so I think he called Kelly. Kelly went and got you, but the thing about you that you had that no one else did was a tap. That's pretty cool.
I did have a tap.
Because otherwise we would have been trying to get into that keg with a screwdriver or something.
Right. I think I stole it from Portland Golf Club. No, it had to be college. It had to be college.
You did not gain that tap legitimately. Oh my God, the lore of the Bullet just grows by the second.
Right.
Well, and there's no way we get off this call without actually quickly telling the scallop story, because we referenced it twice now. Yeah. But we're sitting there, Ocean Dunes. We just played the Friday practice round. We call it the Pug. And we're all in this big room waiting for pizzas to get delivered. We're just doing the Calcutta. Guys are yelling, drinking, laughing. And the maitre d', or the guy who works in the restaurant, comes out, grabs the microphone and said, "Hey, excuse me, out of all you guys, who ordered the scallops?" And I've never seen 60, 70 people start laughing so hard in their life.
I didn't say shit. I sat behind Bledsoe, who was going off, and I just sat there and just said, "There's no fucking way I'm opening my mouth." And I waited, and I
What led
snuck
to
out
the
the
order,
back.
though?
So here's the deal. So I scouted there. I went there in May. Used to do that. Go to the, set up the course. KPs. This is what we're gonna do. This is how many people we're gonna have a bunch of Coors Light. And he said, "Oh, go talk to those guys. They run the restaurant now." So I get the little menu. It's standard stuff. I bring it with me. Fast forward to the tourney, and I came in later, and people were bitching. There's no good food. Drew's like, "I'm just gonna order 20 pizzas." And I'm like, and I go to the dude. I go, "What'd you guys do? You changed your menu. Look at this. What happened?" And it's these two guys that decided they're just going to reinvent Ocean Dunes bar and grill, fancy, expensive food. And so we were stuck. And I was like, I felt bad for them because I told them, "Hey, you're going to be busy as hell." So I said, "Well, but I'll get this, whatever the hell I ordered." But
So
I felt
eventually, you slinked around the crowd and went and met the guy solo and picked up
yeah,
your scallops.
I told them, "Do not bring this to the room. I will come and get this. I swear to God." And I'm like, because I knew I would get heckled, and of course, time goes by. You're drinking and laughing, and they're like, "Well, I wonder who ordered this." And some random who I didn't talk to went in there. I was like, "Oh shit!" It's like, "Damn it!" So I just played it off.
But
people found out.
I mean, for inquiring minds, were they good?
It was actually pretty good. Well, yeah, it was solid. I mean, today that menu would be great. We'd be, "Oh, this is fantastic, great call." But back then, we didn't want anything to do with that kind of food.
Awesome. All right, Sadie, can we wrap this episode up? I think
We should wrap it up.
Jim Ward's been a fantastic guest. Thank you, Jim, for joining us.
I'll tell you what,
love it.
Jim, it's early, but we've been force ranking everybody, and I'm giving you top billing so far.
I love it.
I hope Wade Hudspeth sees this because you outshined him.
Wade has a lot to bring to the table. I don't know if it was his best effort.
Wade was strong. But you're stronger.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and we'll definitely have you back on a future episode.
I'll chime in some stories. I'll post some questions.
Yeah, post the questions. You know where to find Odie.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, so that's it for this round of the Bullet Chat podcast. Thanks for hanging with us. Remember, it's not just about golf. It's about friendships, stories, traditions, random oddities, and maybe a little bit of trash talk. We're going to be back next week with more memories, more guests, and probably some factual errors. Until then, follow us on YouTube at Bullet Chat. See that plug? Got it in, Sadie. Wow. And if you're not playing good golf, plug. And Sadie, if you're not playing good golf,
get better or rake it. That's
love it.